Okay, so LTV now has decreased from 80% to 75%, and this is one of the third quarter of 2024 cooling measure. But more importantly, how would this cooling measure affect the current HDB resale flat buyers? Let's have a closer look. Alright, so let's dive straight in, shall we? So this is the latest cooling measure from the government, August 20th, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so there are two things that you need to take note of this cooling measure is basically the change of LTV and the increase of enhanced housing grant. So later towards the end of the slide, I'll let you know who are the ones that will benefit and who are the ones who will not benefit from this cooling measure. Okay, so LTV, usually we know it as loan to valuation, has decreased from 80% to 75%. Okay, and enhanced housing grant, of course, increased lah. Okay, so later I'm gonna share with you. So if you remember the last two times that LTV was actually affected, or rather there is a reduction of LTV, right, is actually December 15, 2021. And that will be actually the fourth quarter of 2021. Okay, LTV, HDB LTV was decreased from 90% to 85%. Then shortly a year after that, 30th September 2022, that's probably the third quarter of 2022, actually decreased from 85% to 80%. And of course now, it actually decreased from 80 to 75%. 75% LTV is actually neck with bank. Okay, so bank usually is 75% and 25% down payment. So now HDB and bank, LTV same, but of course interest rate different lah. Okay, I'll leave that to the next time. But then again, we should actually start asking, right, why would a cooling measure come in? What causes a cooling measure to come in? Okay, so a lot of people don't really kind of understand. I would like to see cooling measure is like a cooling fever pad. Like let's say when you're running a fever, you take Panadol or you use the fever cooling pad, just slap on your forehead, right? So the fever is actually basically the resale price index. When it gets hot, your body temperature, or rather the price gets too hot, the cooling measure will come in. Then your body temperature will come down, right? Okay, so this is the resale price index in percentage. Okay, these figures are taken from HDB. It's not I come out one, it's from HDB, released by HDB. Okay, so let's go back 3 or 4 years ago when it's 2020. We all know that the houses are actually affected by supply and demand. There are BTOs in during 2020, but just that it's being hot is because of like construction delays and all this stuff and whatnot. I'm not gonna go there. Okay, but take a look at 2020 onwards. 2020 onwards, right? The first quarter of 2021, right, we saw a 3%. The second quarter, 3%. The third quarter, 2.9%. The final quarter of 2024 is a 3.4%. Just this alone, we are looking at a 12 and over percentage. Is this high? Yes. And as we speak, it is still increasing. Okay. So you need to know that why the implementation of a cooling measure is because this is getting way too high. Public housing is meant to be affordable. Yes, we all know that. But then again, because there's a shortage of housing and all this stuff due to supply and demand, resale houses are the first to go, right? I mean, because it's already built already, I don't have to wait. Okay, so with this, like, supply and demand, price will increase. We all know that. So the fourth quarter of 2021, right, cooling measure came in. Is it effective? Yes, because from 3%, almost 3.4, it came down to a smaller increase, 2.4%, 2.8, then 2.6. Is it still high? Okay, not as high as the last quarter, the last year. But then again, the fourth quarter of 2022, LTV coming already, 85 to 80%. Is it effective? Yes. Because the first quarter of 2023, 1%, 1+% is good because the price increase is slower, not steeper, like 3%, crazy. Okay. But then again, the first quarter of 2024, what's the percentage? It went back up again. Then the second quarter, lucky worse, 2.3%. So we can see that once there is a spike in resale price index, right, loan to valuation, a cooling measure will come in. And this time around is the LTV. Okay? So, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so let me just cancel this. Okay, it's LTV 80 to 75%. Let me just do a quick correction for this. Yes, I was too excited to do this. Yes. So you can see that the cooling measure has came in. Okay, so what if the next quarter we can see this to a 3.1%, and you know what's gonna happen already lah. And our cooling measure will come in, right? Okay, so this is the resale price graph, resale price index graph, to let you see how HDB prices has been appreciating or depreciating over the past 30 years. Is it 30 years? Yes, 30 years. So there's up and down, down and up, then down and up. Okay, so right now we are here. Okay, so what does this mean for the current resale flat owners? Your HDB has already appreciated this much. So are there opportunities for you? Yes, of course, because the market, right, has really pushed your current HDB to this price. And of course, a lot of people say that, yeah, I sell high, I buy also high. What? Yes, I do agree, but that doesn't mean that we cannot find a value for money house out there, which I already help a lot of my clients do that, okay? So that one, I'll leave it to your side. So if you want to explore your options, do keep in touch with me. I will definitely do my best, okay? But I have to continue this video. So I'm going to give you an example of how this cooling measure will affect different pricing, different tiering pricing in the current market of the resale flat. So for this example, we have Mr. Liew and Mrs. Liew. Or Mrs. Liew, very good looking. Okay. So on the left, we have the down payment and the amount of loan that you can get before the cooling measure. And on the right side is after the cooling measure. So I've given you 3 examples for you to have a look. 400K, 800K, and 1.2 million. So before the cooling measure, your down payment is only 80K. But then after this cooling measure, 20K extra. 160, 240K extra. 240, 300K increase, 60K extra. So you can see that as the quantum increases, the amount of down payment you need to make also increases. And this is the aim of the cooling measure. They want people to not buy so many $1 million flats. There are 573 1 million flats and over transacted, if I'm not wrong lah. I've seen the article, if I'm not wrong. So the thing is that because there are too many $1 million flats being sold, and government is fearing that everyone will start asking for 1 million. And what will happen to the resale market? Then a lot of people cannot afford. That's why this cooling measure is just to deter those first-time buyers that want to buy high quantum HDB. They will need to fork out a higher down payment. So make you harder to buy. So don't buy so much. But then again, if you think about it, if today Mr. and Mrs. Liew own a corner terrace and they just sold their corner terrace for 7 million, for example, okay, and they have already waited out 15 months because of the cooling measure in 2020, 30 September 2022 is the 15 months wait out for private owners, okay? So they have already observed the 15 months. They are ready to buy. So what is their quantum? How much can they buy? Can they buy 1.2 million? Yes. Can they buy the 1.4 million at Duxton? Yes, can. Can they buy the 5-room at Margaret Drive for 1.73, 1.75 million? Yes, they can. After they buy that one, how much have they left? 7 million minus, let's say they bought it at 2 million. This 2 million house HDB flat can see anywhere you want for $2 million. Can they buy? They can. And how much would they have in their pocket? They have 5 million in their pocket. So does this cooling measure affect them? No, not at all, because they use full cash. They didn't use any loan. So for those who want to afford $1 million HDB with loan, right, then they will be affected. Okay. So next, who are the ones that will benefit from this cooling measure? Simple. Those that are eligible for enhanced housing grant. And who are they? Singles earning less than 4.5K per month, or families earning less than 9K per month. Basically, these are the people that are eligible for enhanced housing grant. Then they will have a bigger grant. So yes, I understand that it might be a bit hard to digest, but if you have any questions, do reach out to me. And of course, those who want to find out what are your options today based on the current market sentiments and all whatnot. Explore your options. Do reach out to me, and of course, I will do my best. If not, I will see you in the next video.